5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bella Talks TV. It's Amanda Bella here, per usual. You know, I think that's just like everybody has to have their thing they say when they open to kind of like, you guys know who Tyler Henry is. If you do not know who Tyler Henry is, the medium from E Entertainment, and also he did have a follow-up show on Netflix. I love him so much. And he's kind of scribbles on like a piece of paper, or like Teresa, the Long Island medium. She also has like a little speech she gives, which is her signal, which is her, her words, not mine, her signal to people who have crossed over that she's ready to communicate with them. This is your signal. Okay. When you hear, hey, it's Amanda Bella here, it's me. This is me coming from the other side. And I have something very important to talk to you guys all about today, which is the season 8 premiere of Love Island USA. I'm a little late to the game this week because I had a very, very busy week. I don't want to bore everybody with the details, but then yesterday I did go to meet Dorit, and it was truly phenomenal. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, I legitimately was prepared to wait in line for 8 hours, and then also I don't know what I was expecting, I guess, from her Watch What Happens live appearance. Andy and her, I hate their relationship, you guys. Like, it actually makes me dislike Andy when he has favorites. And I know that that's just human nature, but I really hate when he plays favorites. And it's like he lives inside Kyle Richards' asshole. And so it's really hard for him to have any relationship with Dorit, and it bothers me so much. But you guys, I went to the Barnes & Noble on Fifth Avenue. I've never been there. It was really, really, I need to go back. There were like 5 books I wanted to buy just from waiting in line for Dorit. When I got there, I was sweating. It was really hot. And then luckily the corner that Barnes & Noble was on, it was in the shade. So like I sweat my ass off the whole time getting to be in line. And I was wearing that gray shirt from BravoCon that has Dorit smoking the cig in the car on it. So I didn't want to be like showing all of my sweat lines. So I was standing in line. I'm literally like fanning myself, holding, when you take your shirt and you're like hold the collar and you're like pulling it out to let air come in and out through the neck. Like, I was really doing my best. I cool down. I'm drinking a coffee. I'm standing in line. I'm getting settled in. I meet a guy in front of me who's from Birmingham, Alabama, coming to meet Dorit. I meet a nice, cute girl who just got into Housewives. It's really crazy. The one guy, you guys, the guy from Birmingham, Alabama, these people blow my mind. I love Bravo fans. He did not ever watch Vanderpump Rules and did not know who Ariana Madix was, except for from Dancing with the Stars. And that's what inspired him. Him watching Dancing with the Stars is what inspired him to start watching Vanderpump Rules, which then led him to watch. Someone was like, okay, well, he said he watched Vanderpump Rules then because of Scandival and Dancing with the Stars, etc. Then he was like, okay, what other Bravo show should I watch? What should be my first Housewives show? And he was suggested Beverly Hills. So he watched the entire 14 seasons up until this most recent 15 seasons. Oh my gosh, you guys. I love a Bravo fan. And the other girl, I think she said during COVID is when she found Bravo. So she was kind of like a new-ish fan too. I mean, COVID was 6 years ago now, which is fucking crazy. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about Dorit, even though it was amazing meeting her. I met her. I told her about the Homeless Not Toothless bracelet that I have. I told her about the shirt that I was wearing. I told her that my favorite moment was when she was doing the Balenciaga, holding the wind chime. She was really sweet. She made eye contact. She was warm. She gave me a hug. There were a lot of people there, though, so it's not like I got tons of time with her. Now, I listened to other questions. People were asking her, are you coming back next season? And I'm eavesdropping. She said contracts have not gone out yet. I believe her. So she doesn't know. Nobody knows if she's coming back. I'm assuming she is. I mean, Alex Baskin himself responded to somebody's, I believe it was Bravo and Cocktails, too. Like, fuck. Sorry, you guys. If you've ever listened to this show and you're coming here for the first time ever and you're listening to this Love Island recap, I apologize because it's a little aggressive, but this is what you get on Bella Talks TV. But oh my gosh. So she doesn't know. And then what else was she being asked? I think I think someone asked her if her and Kyle were going to make up. I think she said she was open to it. Like, people were asking pretty general questions. I just kind of spoke to her about my favorite memories with her, and she signed my book, and I was on my merry way. So I'm going to read it ASAP. We just bought new chairs, new outdoor chairs, and I can't wait to park my ass in one of those chairs and read Dorit's book. It's like 246 pages. So all right, so let's move on right on to Love Island, you guys. Now, I don't know what the heck they pump into this. It's like the oxygen that they put in the Vegas casinos that just like keep you buzzing all night. Like I was so not looking forward to this. I've been so busy and there's so much TV, and then the fact that I'm putting out a second episode this week is truly a miracle, because I think you guys know when I'm traveling and stuff, it's really hard for me to record even one episode a week, but I'm home all week and here I am doing a Love Island recap. So I wasn't able to watch the first episode of Love Island until last night after Dorit. I got all comfy in bed and I put it on. And it's not that I wasn't looking forward to it. I actually really was, but I think just based on the photos of the cast alone that were put out, the photographer, first of all, needs to be fired, because everybody looks like a different person. And second of all, like, I just did not find any of them attractive. But then I was remembering back, like looking at some of these people just based on their looks. Yes, some of them are beautiful. When I say that, I'm usually talking about the women. The women are beautiful, but like the guys are never like so hot to me in the pictures. Like in the bombshell moments when they come in, that is hot. But like when I saw the picture of Gabriel, was I like, oh my God, that guy like makes me... No, but when he came in that scene, he did. So let's rewind from the first bombshells entering at the end of episode 1 all the way back to the beginning of episode 1 when we do the intros. So Love Island is famous for these intros that they do. It's very music video style, but like a karaoke music video where they're all lip syncing, and it's not giving low budge, but it's giving choreography. It's trying to, like, you get to see a little bit of the people's personalities. Do you guys remember in season 6 of USA when Cordell was holding the suitcase? I mean, of course, everybody remembers this moment, and spinning around looking up to the sky, being like, I came here for love. So, you know, these intro videos are pretty iconic. I would akin it close to like where the housewives have their intros in the taglines. So, or actually, it's a little bit more Love or Vanderpump Rules, where everybody's name and you kind of like zoom in on them. So we have Anaya. Naya goes by Naya, and she is kind of the first one that comes onto screen, and she's giving high energy. She's giving kind of like professional dancer at first, and then they show Kenzie. And Kenzie's doing so many things. She's doing splits. She's doing handstands. She's reverse cowgirling on like top of a king size pillow on this like bed that's in the jungle. I don't know what they were doing with Kenzie, but she's the next one we see. And then they kind of go down the list. Let me see if I actually took pictures of like everybody in the intro. Okay, so yeah, I actually have one thing. Let's see. Naya. Oh, and then there's Bryce. Bryce is the guy who's a cancer from LA, who's a DJ, who we find out later fixes garbage trucks in his spare time, or not really his spare time. It's really his full-time job, and then he DJs part-time. He's also a model, and his first job ever was Calvin Klein. So like Bryce is interesting, but he's 29 and they all think he's old. Then they have Beatrice, which I'm going to say that in my like white girl Michigan accent. I think it's Beatrice. She's like, you can call me Tris or Bea. And I think everyone's calling her Bea. She was somebody that, I don't know, I guess this, I'm going to just call this unconscious bias, but like, I, for some reason, did not think I was going to like her at all, based on no other reason besides the fact that she has an amputated leg. And I think normally when you see people like that, this is going to be a stigma, you guys. I mean, this is a brave podcast, but I think I just thought she was going to be kind of like a victim and be whiny and be like, oh, no one likes me because of my leg. And I don't know why I projected that onto her, because she is fucking hilarious, has more confidence oozing out of her amputated foot than I have in my whole body. So I really misjudged her. And she was the breakout star to me. Then we have Casey, who is a nursing assistant, basically like a tender care hospice nursing assistant, which I really appreciate people like that in this world. There's a special place in heaven for these angels. I like that. I think that he's a cutie. And then we have Sean, the Asian cop, and he's the single dad who said he was in a 10-year relationship and then went on like a wild bender of online dating and randomly knocked up a girl. And just the way he says that, like I think that was his verbatim thing, that he randomly knocked up someone. Then this girl lives in Pennsylvania. He moved there now and is raising his child there. So he actually does seem like a good guy. Then we have Melanie, this really beautiful light-skinned black girl that Iris apparently met because she is the manager of a bikini store. And they nominated her, put her casting tape in, and now this girl's on here. And I didn't think I was going to like her either. Like, these people just look boring from their photos. And she's from Philly, and she has a huge East Coast personality, and I'm like loving her. Okay, then we have Sincere, who's long hair. At first, I was also, okay, what is up with everybody now saying that they're lover boys and lover girls? Because there was so much fuckboy, fuckgirl behavior that now Gen Z is overcorrecting and everybody's a lover girl now. And it's like, and a lover boy, I'm over it. But Sincere is giving me KJ from Summer House vibes. And then we have Trinity, who is the youngest in the house. She's only 22 years old. She's from Virginia, and she's a mixture of she's a mixture of Serena and Olandria. She's smoking hot. And then the last person that we have coming into the original cast and who is in the intro is Zach, who is Charlie from Love Island last year's brother. And I don't know why he is here. He could have been an email, but we'll get to that. Ariana shows up on screen looking gorgeous. I was happy she confirmed that she was going to be brunette in this new Love Island season because I love her as a brunette, and I too am going on my natural hair color journey. So I'm just always copying Ariana for that. So I really, again, enjoyed all of the intros of the people. Kenzie and Anaya are the first two girls that come into the villa. They're both from Georgia, and they are being a little woo girl. And if you don't know who the woo girls are, I mean, don't misquote me, but I'm pretty sure that's a Saturday Night Live thing, like woo girls that are like, woo, like that. I can't remember. Where did the woos, this is usually a vibes podcast, but every once in a while I fact check. So what did Woo Girls come from? Oh, no, that's from How I Met Your Mother, which is funny because I've like literally never even seen that show. I watched like 3 episodes, but one of the episodes I saw was the Woo Girls episode. So they're being Woo Girls. They're just like screaming and being girls, which is cute. Anaya's 23 and her mom does a nonprofit organization and her dad was in the NBA. So at first glances, I felt bad because she was getting trolled online. They were like, whose mama got invited? Because she does look like 45, but she is 23. So I do think that's crazy. One thing about Love Island is everybody's under 25, but they're all talking about wanting to settle down and how they feel like they need to have a basketball team of kids. And it does blow my mind. I actually hate it about this show. But I'm into Anaya. I'm into Kenzie. They're talking about astrology. I love that that's like a really big part of the culture now for the kiddos. Kenzie is giving professional dancer, but she's actually a nurse. And then I'm reading my notes, and then literally in the next scene, she was like, "Oh, I was a professional dancer," and I fucking knew it. She was just giving professional dancer energy in the intro. So for her to confirm it, I knew it. She didn't have sex for 1.5 years, and so she was re-virginized. And that's another thing that Gen Z loves to do and overcorrect is like not have sex. They don't drink, they don't have sex, and they're just lover girls and lover boys now. Sober lover girl and lover boys now. So it's really interesting. Melanie's the next girl. They send the women all in first. So Melanie's the next girl that comes in. She said that she actually described herself as fun as fuck. And then at first I was like, okay. But actually, I kind of agree with her. She does come off fun. And she had a very interesting take about girls. She said, you don't have to call yourself a girl. And if you do that, that's a red flag. So I'm kind of into that. That's what I used to say. And then people would say that I was not a girl for that. So she's also Dominican. And like, I have not met a Dominican person I don't like. So I'm into her already. Beatrice comes in with Trinity. I just really, again, love them. I actually showed a picture to my husband of Beatrice, and I was like, would you fuck her? Because you don't know anything about her, amputated leg and all. Would you fuck her? He said yes immediately without hesitation. And I said, that's a green flag. So I'm into that. Her intro I'm going to post a video of it to my Instagram. It is one of the funniest 30 seconds I've ever heard. She says something about men having mouth mullets, which I believe is a goatee. And I've never heard that before. And that was so funny. Trinity works at a hardware store. She's only 22. I believe it's Home Depot or Lowe's that she works at. And that just also I found very interesting. I love kids these days and just kids that don't go to college and like the jobs that they have. It's funny. It's giving like full-time benefits with insurance. All right. And then Ariana comes in. Her stylist, Emily Men, does incredible work. Every single outfit that she wears. I just wish I had her closet so much. Okay, then the men start to enter, and we have Bryce and Sincere is the first guys that come in. Sincere is also into track and field, and so originally I think we thought that Beatrice was going to be into him, but they actually don't totally hit it off in the beginning. So Sincere says he's raised by women, again, KJ vibes, and he also says that he's not going to find his wife in the club, maybe a run club. And I did find that interesting too. Like, again, like I actually did meet my husband in the club because we're millennials and that's what happens. So Bryce was born in Hawaii. He was raised in Vegas. He moved to NYC at 17, again, to model for Calvin Klein. And he's a Cancer. He says he's emo, and I believe it. Zach's, who is Charlie's brother, again, he came in, and I don't find him attractive. And then, I mean, the accent does help, but it's just not enough. And his personality seems dry and kind of like insecure. I don't know. I'm not really that into him. I liked Charlie so much more. Okay, so they do something fucking crazy in this first episode. They have an icebreaker challenge, which they always do. I believe last year you got to just like choose who you wanted to kiss first. And like that was the icebreaker. But this year, they're evolving because they know people are going to be smart enough and they don't want too much strategy going in. So they decide to not let people see who they're going to kiss or choose. And it's kind of based on compatibility questions. And they're so foul and wild for this and horny for this, these Love Island producers. But the very first question is your favorite sex position. And then if you chose the same favorite sex position, you get to make out with the people that are standing on the other side of the door. So if your favorite position is missionary, you're making out with the people that like missionary. Literally the three options were missionary, doggy, and cowgirl. Or on top. I mean, you do get to know a lot about people by that, but I just find that these are almost children to me at this point because they're 22, 23. So anyways, it's just the old hag in me. It's speaking a little bit, but I was astonished, truly. The second question they asked everybody is dog person, cat person, or plant person. And this is where Casey, the nursing assistant, picks to be a plant person, which he was very honest. He said he is not an animal person and he does have plants. So he was taking the challenge literally, and no one else was a plant person. So he ended up being single and vulnerable to be eliminated, which is kind of crazy. And the third question was, do you allow your partner to look at your phone? Never, sometimes, or always. I found this to be interesting. Somebody chose, I believe it was Sincere, said always, and I agree with him. My husband and I do have access to each other's phones, and we are able to look at each other's phones anytime we feel like it. I haven't looked at his phone in like 5 years, but if I fucking felt like it, I could. And with me, it's more of like we use my phone to do stuff on it all the time. Like we have joint accounts and whatever. And like he takes my phone to go do things all the time. So yeah, he has access to my phone whenever. That's trust and that's marriage. So I don't know. That's just up to me. But I thought that was interesting. That's a third question that they were based on their compatibility about. So the people that say never, that's a red flag to me. Like what's in the phone? What's in there? So then we have, the guys are coming in, Bryce and Trinity. Okay, I'm not going to go through like everybody who gets paired up, but I have just some notes that I wrote. So Bryce and Trinity, now they end up getting paired up, which is Bryce is the oldest in the villa and Trinity is the youngest in the villa. It ends up being like a 7-year age gap. Trinity is appalled. She's like, you're born in 1993. That is disgusting. Please get away from me. So I think that's absolutely hilarious. But this is, again, the world that we're living in 2026. And what is the Matthew McConaughey thing? Like, I keep getting older, or the girls keep getting younger and I stay the same age. Like, that's kind of how I feel, because I still feel like I'm 21 and I'm like, wait, how are those girls 21? Kenzie and Zach were paired up, and that did not go well either. One of the first things he says is like he's not into blondes, but again, they didn't get to pick each other based off of looks because they couldn't see who they were picking. So sometimes this happens. It's like Love is Blind. In the villa, love is not blind, put it that way, because they immediately see each other and they're both like, nah, I'm good. And which is crazy because Kenzie was really, I think, feeling him for a second, and rejection sensitivity is a real thing. So she ends up being pretty sensitive about the fact that Zach like was not picking her, even though it's kind of just because she's blonde. I also think she's just, her aura is chaotic. So it's giving a little bit of Kaylor energy from a few seasons ago. Oh, another thing about Bryce and Trinity I had to bring up is that she isn't like how LA he is, because she says that he probably does OOTDs, like Stassi Schroeder, like outfit of the day pictures of him in the mirror. And that he also probably eats avocado toast, and she's like not into that. I just love all of the honesty going on in this villa already. KC was left single. Kenzie was left single, and KC was left single. But then KC eventually was paired up with Anaya. And I like them together. They seem to be vibing. Sincere chose Melanie, and they're also vibing. Sincere says he doesn't eat eggs. I think it's so cute that, though, he's like, Melanie, like, what do you like to have for breakfast? Because I think one of my favorite things about Love Island is the men making all the women breakfast and bringing it to them when they're getting ready. And so I thought that was cute that he was kind of trying to get a feel on what she wants for breakfast. But then he says something I've never heard before, which is that he does not eat eggs and that he doesn't know how to make them, but he's going to try for her. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't eat eggs? Like, how do you, like, that's like one of the only types of protein I do get is eating eggs. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, Naya and Casey, we talked about them. Okay, so then everybody goes to bed for the first night. They're all mingling. Beatrice and Sean were hitting it off, but there aren't any like huge. I would say at the end of the first day, Sincere and Melanie were the strongest couple. And then breakfast is so cute. They wake up the next day, and Sincere brings Melanie breakfast, and they make out in soul ties. Anaya is going on about how she is into chivalry and kind of like old school men. And I think that that's great because Casey seems sweet. And if he can give an old man a bath at a nursing home, he can probably make sure that Anaya is going to be able to like get her foot rubbed. And, you know, if she's pregnant, I feel like he would take good care. Like he would probably be a good partner. So I don't know what it was about this first episode. I think maybe everybody was really nervous and like not mingling, or, oh no, you know what it is? Because it's the first day in the villa. I think they do a lot of like confessionals and kind of shooting other things with production, because all of a sudden it was just fire pit time. I'm like, what do you mean it's dark out? Like, what did they do all day? It was breakfast, then it was fire pit time. But it's already the first elimination coming up, and Ariana shows up. Everybody's freaking out. Zach and Bryce are already concerned about that age gap with Trinity. So like some of the couples are shaky. We know Zach and Kenzie aren't good. We know that things aren't just like solidified yet. And for the first time ever in Love Island history, on the very first day, they send in 2 bombshells right off the bat. They have a girl, Katya, and a guy, Gabriel, who is kind of like Maluma, and he is just giving like Spanish seduction. And Katya is giving like, she reminds me of, she just reminds me a lot of like the Too Hot to Handle girls. I don't know. She's hot, but I'm not sure about her personality yet. I also really liked the music choices. They played a Rufus Du Sol song when Gabriel came in and was making out with all of the women. Because, you know, bombshells be bombshell. And when they send the bombshells in, they make out with everybody that is open to being stolen to come into the villa. So I really enjoyed all of the drama and the chaos in the first episode. But when Gabriel and Katya come in, and then they find out basically have a challenge where Ariana makes everybody stand either a red dot or a green dot. And if you're in a green dot, that means that you want to see who else, like you're open to exploring still. And the red dot means that you liked the first person you were paired up and you wanted to stay. Now, the bombshells come in and take the people that were on the green dot. So Gabriel takes Beatrice. Beatrice like wins the kissing challenges already off the bat. Again, I'm obsessed with her. And it kind of goes right into the second episode with like the Bombshells take away, who are the guys? I think it was Bryce and Sean get taken away with Katya. They all go into some other part of the villa. Everyone takes off their blindfolds. Rufus Du Sol is playing. And then they realize that like Zach is gone, and like the people that were on the green dots are gone, and the people that were in the villa are freaking out because they don't know what's going to happen or who's going to be eliminated. So they kind of leave you basically on a cliffhanger after the first episode. So there were just so many funny episodes that happened this first part. I loved, again, the Woo girls in the beginning. I loved Kenzie talking about how delusional she is, and everybody agreeing, like, yeah, I'm delusional too. Like, you have to be delusional. Like, being a little bit delulu is the salulu. Like, these women seem fun. Kenzie fangirling over Ariana, I thought was so cute and funny. I have to say, out of all of the men, I am mostly attracted to Bryce. Of course, I love Cancer men. I love DJs. He's just right up my alley. But I'm curious to find out what's going to go on about these losers. Sean, I'm just not sure. Again, he's a single dad that said that he got a rando pregnant. And I just think I think it's such a different approach. Remember Huda came in last season and her being a single mom and not telling everybody until episode 4 when the Mommy Mamacita came out. Like, this is a much different approach. Like, he walked in and was like, it was the first thing he said was, hi, I'm Sean. I'm a cop and I have a son. So just a much different approach. Let's see what else I found to be entertaining. I have so many pictures in my screenshots. Let's see what else. The age gap thing. I thought the part was funny about the girls being like, I'm gonna look cute and wear real cute sleep sets for the first 3 nights, and then I'm about to start wearing my granny panties. That's very relatable. I think it was Sean or Sincere, one of them admitting that they're a yapper. I love a man that's a yapper. I love that Beatrice was open about not being sure if she wanted to date a guy that has a child. I love the girls having so much fun together in the room, getting ready for their first night of sleep. Like, the way that they were kikiing, and Beatrice is just so funny. She was getting everybody laughing. She said when she tries to twerk, she looks like a dog that's about to throw up. That was so funny. She's so like self-deprecating. Really, really funny. Sincere's like so into Melanie. I'm already predicting now that Sincere and Melanie are going to make it like pretty far and be pretty into each other. And yeah, that's, I guess, my official prediction. Not to go too crazy because we don't know like what Bombshells will be coming, but Sincere and Melanie, I'm getting good vibes from them. So let's hope that he can survive Casa. And thank you so much for all joining me for this very fun bonus episode of Bella Talks TV, going over the new season of Love Island USA. So keep checking back for more updates. And everybody have a wonderful weekend. Ciao, Bellas.